The following production is brought to you by Derrick Lamon Enterprises, a subsidiary of LBM Entertainment, exclusively licensed for use on Patreon.com. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Patreon.com/the Derrick Lamon Experience, your one-stop shop for your gaming news. It was a day. It was a day. I'm going to start by saying that. I had to take a moment and sit here and get myself together because I was like, I should take the night off. But what goes on in my personal, professional life, my job outside of doing this, it should not affect the show. And I was not going to hold the show off. I could have recorded tomorrow night, but I want to spend time with my kids, so I said, no, I'm going to do this tonight. So, unfortunately, I was racially profiled going into the building at work, the same building I've been going in that we as a company have been inhabiting since April of this year. And for whatever reason today, somebody closed the door in my face and said, sorry, security, and proceeded to fast walk to their car. Dress slacks, dress shirt, wingtips every day. And this person, I have no idea what their train of thought was, but it will be addressed, and it is what it is. So, number one, I want to say treat people as you would, like to be treated yourself. Don't be an asshole. Some people just don't understand how that works, but it is what it is. Anyway, none of that matters because we are talking gaming. So, the top story. So all these insiders start saying Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming. We're going to find out real soon. And then we always take those things with a grain of salt. There's one person, when they say something, I'm like, okay, there's some truth. There's some truth to this. There's definitely some truth to this. So I'm looking up, and everybody's like, Grand Theft Auto is coming. And then Jason Schreier comes out and says the reveal is imminent. It's coming. It could be very soon. And I'm like, if Jason Schreier said it, this could be real. So then I wake up this morning and holy shit, it is actually real. Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming. Rockstar Games put out a series of tweets this morning. Next month marks the 25th anniversary of Rockstar Games. Thanks to the incredible support of our players worldwide, we've had the opportunity to create games we are truly passionate about. This is crazy because I had just pulled up my laptop last night and I was going to install the Rockstar Games launcher on there. I was like, eh. And then I'm having my PC, a friend of mine is going to take a look at it and spruce some things up and shit like that. So I gave that to him. And it's just so crazy because I'm thinking about game launchers and this happens. Rockstar, of course, has their own game launcher. The tweets go on to say, without you, none of this would be possible, and we are so grateful to all of you for sharing this journey with us. In 1998, Rockstar Games was founded on the idea that video games could come to be essential to culture, be as essential to culture as any other form of entertainment, and we hope that we have created games you love and our efforts to be part of that evolution. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Thank you, Sam Hauser. These have become the most liked tweets or whatever the fuck they call it, X's, in gaming history. It's finally coming. It's finally coming. After all this time, people, so I get home and I check, and there's like a trend now where people will like post a picture of what you look like when Grand Theft Auto 5 released, and a picture of what you look like now. And it's like astonishing because everybody looks so young. Like, it's like, holy shit. And yeah, it's been 10 years. My kid is 10. She was a few months old. She was literally 2 months old when Grand Theft Auto 5 released. And I know, like I said, like, hey, if we wanted Grand Theft Auto 6, maybe people should stop pumping money into Grand Theft Auto Online. And maybe then they'll say, okay, now we need to move on. I'm guilty. I didn't buy content for Grand Theft Auto Online, but I did buy Grand Theft Auto 5 3 times. The PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. I bought Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, the PlayStation 2 versions, on my PS4. And then when they put out the definitive trilogy edition, I bought those for my PlayStation 5, which also grants me a copy on my PlayStation 4. So think about it. Like, I have a whole folder in PlayStation consoles for Rockstar Games. I bought Red Dead Redemption twice. I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 twice. Like, that's how much I love what Rockstar does. So I'm very happy to be able to report on this, just like everybody else. I don't care who said it first. This is something that we all get to share in. We are going to get the next adventure from Rockstar Games. It says they're going to reveal it early next month in December. Early next month would be the Game Awards. By the way, if you are listening on Patreon, of course, you get the episode on Tuesdays. If you listen on the free feeds, if you're on Patreon, you get the episodes on Saturday afternoons. If you listen on the free feeds, I am going to bump the episode up to Sunday morning. And actually, you know what? Patreon, you guys are going to get it on... You guys will get the episode Friday night, and then the free feeds will get it Sunday, because Game Awards announcements are coming. The nominations are coming Monday, and I want to do a separate episode for that. So we're going to shuffle the release lineup a bit this week. All right, just for this week. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to do their own thing or if they're going to sit down with Jeff Keighley and show something at the Game Awards. Either way, it's about damn time. We are finally here. Now, that doesn't mean the game is coming within the next year. We would hope it comes within this console generation. Red Dead Redemption came in 2018, and the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One released in 2013. So it took 5 years to get a brand new Rockstar title, considering they ported over Grand Theft Auto 5 from the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Will it come to PC same time as it comes to console? That's a good question. Rockstar generally does not do that. So that's a good question. But I'm just hoping for something good. I'm hoping that all the things that we have heard are somewhat true, like the different, like the South America stuff. And, you know, I really do want that Miami Vice feel, that feel of Vice City. Vice City is my favorite Grand Theft Auto, so I really want that feel. I know I've been critical of Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm not really a huge fan of the switching back and forth between the three characters, but it does work. Crazy thing is, I completed my last playthrough of GTA 5 the day before the 10-year anniversary of the game's release. So it's all just coming together. It's all coming together. And once they ship this game, then we can get to work on Red Dead Redemption 3, because we know that's coming. But I know that everybody is elated about this. Everybody's happy. So happy Rockstar Games announcement day, you guys. Yeah, happy Rockstar Games announcement day. This is really cool. But anyway, in other news, this comes from Shinobi over on Twitter. This is very interesting. Warner Brothers Games. WB will focus on more live service games going forward. Quote, our focus is on transforming our biggest franchises from largely console and PC based, with 3-4 year release schedules to include more always-on gameplay through live services, multi-platform, and free-to-play extensions, with the goal to have more players spending more time on more platforms. Ultimately, we want to drive engagement and monetization of longer cycles and at higher levels. We have put specific capabilities. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate greater post-purchase revenue. Somebody retweeted this and said they just don't get it. And it's true, they don't. Because, well, let's see. Batman's a Warner Brothers property, right? And we had the Arkham series, and then we got Gotham Knights, and then what else are we getting? What has Rocksteady been working on? Oh, that's right. They were working on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And that game's been delayed a couple times. When they showed that battle pass and stuff, people were like, what the fuck is this? You guys are insane. The response from what we saw at that State of Play made them push the game to February of next year. And somehow from that, they think that more live service games as a service is the answer. And they could not be more wrong if they tried. We have all heard, and I covered it last week, that Sony is more than likely reversing course on that games as a service model. So if the leader in the console market says, you know what, we might have been wrong about this, why would you guys go and put all your eggs in this basket? This makes no sense. Which tells me that the next Hogwarts Legacy game is going to be live service. And that's going to come under scrutiny because we know that Joe Rowling has nothing to do with writing the games. But then again, she can't help but stick her foot in her mouth when someone asks her, just admit that trans women are women. She says no. So, there's not going to be a place where that woman's going to be able to show her face in a moment. I'm very confident about that. But I don't understand why Warner Brothers Games thinks that this is the answer, because it's truly not. It just isn't. And they're currently on a 3 to 4 year release schedule, and they want to condense that by adding a bunch of different stuff and free to play games and stuff like that. Excuse me. This just sounds like a terrible idea, all told. I'm being completely honest. I don't know how this is going to work for them. I don't predict it ending good, and I'll say that, and I'll leave it there. But this just doesn't seem like a good idea. But I could be fucking wrong. In other news, this comes from The Verge. This was information if you turned on your PlayStation 5 within the last week. Boom, here we go. I don't know if this goes down to the PlayStation 4 or not. My PS4 Pro, my daughter has it. I'm going to have to turn it on and see if it happens. Anyway, if you turned on your PlayStation 5 this week, starting next week, you won't be able to post your clips to X anymore, aka Twitter, from your PS5. Sony is terminating its X, formerly Twitter, integrations for PS5 and PS4, so it is PS4 as well, meaning you soon won't be able to post screenshots and clips to X from those consoles. Quote, as of November 13th, 2023, integration with X, formerly known as Twitter, will no longer function on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 consoles, Sony said in a support message on its website. This includes the ability to view any content published on X on PS5/PS4, and the ability to post and view content, trophies, and other gameplay-related activities on X directly from PS5/PS4, or link an X account to do so. Wario64, good friend, posted a screenshot of a similar message on Threads that appears to have popped up on a PS5 console. Sony didn't elaborate on why it's cutting off its X integrations, and the company didn't immediately reply to a request for comment. Perhaps it's something to do with X's API pricing and introduced earlier this year. Perhaps. However, in the message on its website, the company pointed to support documents about how to share your captures from PS5 or PS4 if you want to pull them off those consoles to post elsewhere. That's why they have the app. You save a screenshot or save a clip, and it goes to the app, and then you just download it from the app, and then go to the Twitter, aka X app, and post it that way. Same way that you have to do if you're playing Xbox, because Microsoft removed the sharing integration as well. If you're on the PS5, the PlayStation app is a great way to grab your video and screenshots so you can share them on social media platforms. Microsoft disabled Xbox clip sharing to X from consoles and PCs in April. Updated November 6th. Added context about X's API pricing and Microsoft's similar decision from earlier this year. What? X is reportedly started to try to sell user handles. This is insane. Elon Musk has really fucked up that app, which used to be our favorite place to go and congregate. You can go from puppies to porn to video games in one swipe on that app. It was like what Tumblr was before. I think they were purchased by Yahoo or somebody, and then they got strict. You could go from puppies to porn on Tumblr as well, and you can't do that anymore. It is all changed. Now, this is different. I don't know. I think they just wanted to clean Tumblr up. It was the go-to place for blogs. Everybody ran their blog through Tumblr through like that era. Like I discovered Odd Future and Frank Ocean and a bunch of different artists via Tumblr blogs. And now I still have one, but generally not many people go there anymore. It's a lot of bots and stuff. Elon bought Twitter and fucked it up. So, speaking of the big idiot, this comes from VideoGameChronicle.com. Elon Musk says he'll look into PlayStation and Xbox removing Twitter integration. Until recently, both consoles as well as Nintendo Switch allow players to post their captured screenshots and videos directly to Twitter from their consoles. You still can from the Switch, but the Switch is stupid. Never mind. They don't have an app. Because if you want to get the video, you have to share it to Twitter. And then if you have an iPhone, you can screen record it. But I don't know if do Androids have screen. I don't know if Androids. I've never had an Android. I've had an iPhone since 2009, so I have no idea how Androids work. Anyway, until recently, both consoles as well as the Nintendo Switch allowed players to post their captured screenshots and video directly to Twitter from their consoles. However, Microsoft announced in April that it had to disable the feature, and earlier this week, Sony confirmed plans to do the same. Although the reason for this hasn't been officially stated, it may be related to sweeping changes to Twitter's API, which appear to be designed to make larger corporations on the platform pay significant amounts of money for access to the API. On Tuesday, Twitter account X News Daily posted that X's plans to be a major streaming platform will be less convenient for console players now that Xbox and PlayStation integration is gone. Replying to the post, Musk said, quote, I will look into this. You're an idiot. Both consoles previously offered players the ability to share their gameplay directly to the platform via integrated sharing options. Each platform does offer alternate ways to share gameplay footage, but it involves extra steps. It's not that bad. It really isn't. Both of the apps are very seamless, and the Microsoft app, I will tell you this, the Xbox app, it takes it a little well, no, they're both about the same time getting the videos and screenshots into the cloud for you to download from the app. So it's not bad. Um Xbox users can upload their screenshots and game captures to the cloud and can then download them on their PC or mobile, after which they can post them manually on X. Similarly, PlayStation 5 owners can sync their consoles with the PlayStation app to get their screenshots and video captures on their phone and share them that way. Musk, of course, acquired Twitter in 2022 and has continually made modifications to the service. And one of his most criticized decisions, the site removed verified status for most accounts, instead offering users verified status for a monthly fee. When LeBron James, who is worth billions, says, I ain't paying for this shit, everybody was thinking that, and Bron came out and said that they're like, okay, I'm not paying for this either. It's very seldom. You don't even see, like, the check used to tell you if this was a real account for a celebrity or if it was bullshit. Um, it's just fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy, and Elon just continues to fuck that app up. So I don't know. In other news, this also from The Verge, Microsoft is partnering with In-World AI to create Xbox game development tools for generative AI characters, storylines, and more. So I saw a lot of people repost this. Alana Pearson, she was like, in a year where it's been a great year for gaming, but we've seen a ton of layoffs. More on that in just a second. They would announce something like this, and everybody's like, "This just ain't it. This is This is not the time you want to be doing this." Um, my God, Bungie. We just talked about Bungie last week and their layoffs, and we've got more to report this week. Microsoft is partnering with In-World AI to develop Xbox tools that will allow developers to create AI-powered characters, stories, and quests. The multi-year partnership will include an AI design copilot system that Xbox developers can use to create detailed scripts, dialogue trees, quest lines, and more. Quote, at Xbox, we believe that with better tools, creators can make even more extraordinary games, explains Hagen Zhang, general manager of gaming AI at Xbox. This partnership will bring together In-World's expertise in working with generative AI models for character development, Microsoft's cutting-edge cloud-based AI solutions, including Azure OpenAI Service, Microsoft's research technical insights into the future of play, and Team Xbox strengths in revolutionizing accessible and responsible creator tools for all developers. The multi-platform AI toolset will include the AI design copilot for scripts and dialogue, and an AI character engine that can be integrated into games and be used dynamically to dynamically generate stories, quests, and dialogue. In-World has been working on AI NPCs that react to questions from a player, much like how ChatGPT or Bing Chat responds to natural language queries. These AI NPCs can respond in unique voices and can include complex dialogue trees or personalized dynamic storylines within a game. In-World's technology can also be used for narration, so companions in top-down RPGs can warn of groups of enemies or players up ahead. I'm not going to read all of this, but this is the last thing that people want. To say that this is going to help them make better games, what this is a way to quickly replace human beings and let AI do the work. I'm not sure AI can write and evoke emotion. So where you have moments like you have in The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, or a Red Dead Redemption, or a Grand Theft Auto, or Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I won't say the next one because I'm still upset about that one. Or, you know, Super Mario Brothers. It doesn't fucking matter. Human beings have been making video games for decades now. And these games are like The Last of Us is a television show now. There's a BioShock show. There's a Horizon Forbidden West show coming. There's a God of War show coming. There's a Halo show that came out last year. Humans have done a great job of writing these incredible narrative stories and designing these breathtaking characters and these breathtaking worlds. And they're saying, yeah, we can get AI to do it now. And to say, oh no, nobody's job is in jeopardy. Are you fucking stupid? Do you guys really think we're dumb enough to believe that? Microsoft has got to be out of their mind. So when people criticize Xbox, I'm like, yeah, I still think that Phil has turned it around, clearly. But then when you look back at the landscape of things, it's like, yeah, they're going too far. They're going too far. They're consolidating assets and they want to be the biggest publisher in the world. Well, congrats. They say they have the world's most powerful console, and then they have another SKU. Well, the S is outselling the X by a nice margin. Their last sales, they were at about 76% of Series S consoles sold, as opposed to 24% of Series X consoles sold. I've got one of each. That's not the fucking point. I don't trust this to go the way that Microsoft thinks that it's going to go, and I think that they need to be wary of what they're doing, especially in a situation. I want to report that the SAG-AFTRA strike, they've come to an agreement, and at midnight tonight of me recording this, the strike will be over, which is great. And because the actors who do video game characters, they were gonna voiceovers, they were striking next. That was next on the docket. This is great. In a same time frame where this is announced that the strike is coming to an end and they can get back to work, they announce this shit, and this just does not sit well with me. And I don't think they understand the damage and control. I'm not saying this is going to be a Terminator situation where AI is really going to kill us all, even though a lot of people really believe that, and I can't say that I dispute it exactly. But the timing of this is fucking terrible. The optics don't look great, and people already look at the Xbox brand one way. It's not going to get any better. It really isn't. The only thing is that if you're a gamer and if you're a Call of Duty player like I am, whether you like it or not, you're going to have to give them their money on an annual basis, and maybe semi-annual, because maybe they're going to slow it down. Who the fuck knows? But this can't end good. That's all I'm going to say. This will not end well. But speaking of layoffs, Ubisoft cuts 98 workers across Canadian officers. Jesus Christ. Assassin's Creed Mirage publisher Ubisoft is laying off 98 people from its Canadian offices, the company confirmed to Polygon on Tuesday. Ubisoft's administrative, IT, and VFX studio Hybrid, which worked on Disney shows like Ahsoka and The Mandalorian and Lucasfilm's Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, are impacted by the layoffs, according to Kotaku, which first reported the layoff. 2% of Ubisoft's Canadian workforce was impacted. Quote, these layoffs are intended to optimize its resources to be more sustainable in the long term, Ubisoft said in the government filing obtained by Kotaku. Wow. Jesus Christ. Quote, these are not decisions taken lightly, and we're providing comprehensive support for our colleagues who will be leaving Ubisoft during this transition. A Ubisoft representative said in a statement to Polygon, we also want to share our utmost gratitude and respect for their many contributions to the company. This restructuring does not affect our production teams. We've printed the full response below. Quote, Ubisoft has cut roughly 1,300 roles since September of 2022, according to an October earnings report, with continued tight control of recruitments as well as targeted restructurings, i.e. layoffs worldwide. Ubisoft reported 19,410 employees in October, making it one of the largest game companies worldwide. The Ubisoft Montreal offices house more than 4,000 of those workers, some of whom believe the company's recent return to the office mandate was essentially a soft layoff. Ubisoft is looking to cut its budget by $215 million as it continues along in the development hell of long-delayed Skull and Bones, as well as Beyond Good and Evil 2, because that game is vaporware at this point. 2023 has been a devastating year for the video game industry, which has been overwhelmed with thousands of cut jobs since January. Again, just last week, Destiny 2 developer Bungie laid off 100 developers. The layoff was pinned to a declining Destiny 2 player base. Yeah, it. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Destiny, so um, yeah, I hate that those people lost their fucking jobs though. But this is really shitty. Again, so I say that to say this: Microsoft, read the room. Read the fucking room. But these press releases, sometimes they're typed up and it's like, but hey, Ubisoft's laying some people off. Stop. Hold off on that release. Don't say anything yet. Wait. Um, this sucks for the people at Ubisoft. People at Telltale were laid off. Obviously, people at Bungie. Some contractors that were working for Naughty Dog got laid off after Bungie, of all people, told Sony, yeah, this factions thing looks cool, but in the long term, you're not going to make much money. And Sony's like, oh, shit. And then contracted workers got let go. They weren't people who were actually employed by Naughty Dog, but it is what it is. This is all a huge clusterfuck, by the way. And the crazy thing is, it has been an amazing year for video games, yet this is the shit we log on and have to see on a daily basis. So, I don't know, man. Who the fuck am I? In other news, I'm going to get to this really quickly. So, Mass Effect Epsilon, there is a video out. Let's see if it's on their YouTube channel. It was for N7 Day, November 7th of 2023. Is that it? What the fuck? Is that it? Is that seriously the whole trailer? No, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That can't be the entire trailer. It's just somebody walking. Let's see. Let's check YouTube. It's 34 seconds, so that one just kept cutting out for whatever reason. At this point, it doesn't matter. New Mass Effect. We know it's going to be called Epsilon, is what it looks like. Watching the trailer now. So they're still walking. Okay. Okay, that's the entire trailer. It's character walking, turns around. You see the N7 on the jacket, and then Mass Effect. So Mass Effect Epsilon is what everybody assumes the name of the game is going to be. I don't know if that's been 100% confirmed. I'm not a huge Mass Effect fan, to be completely honest with you. I know Andromeda was somewhat of a disaster for fans who really were. They were like, yo, this ain't it. I did play a little of Andromeda. I was like, this truly ain't it. I played Mass Effect 1 and 2, I think, on Game Pass, and I was like, this does nothing for me. But again, I'm not one to shit on other people's gaming like joy. Like, if you like the game, great for you. Awesome. Everybody that's like, the Souls genre, Elden Ring, and Liza P, and all this and that, I'm like, okay, great for you. If you love Starfield, I really wanted to love it. I'm just like, this is great for you guys. It ain't for Derrick. So I'm not here to shit on anybody's parade. That's perfectly fine. I hope that you guys get the game you truly want and truly fucking deserve, because I know everybody was really pissed off about Mass Effect Andromeda. So hopefully you guys get some more information soon. Again, the Game Awards is next month, so it could be interesting if you see more soon. I think that there's going to be some pretty big reveals next month. I'm not going to lie. This is looking good. Like, one of the best years in gaming, so the award ceremony should be very, very, very entertaining. But also, I think we should get some really good, nice, big game reveals. And then lastly, two messages from our good friends at Nintendo. Apparently, Nintendo says it will continue releasing Switch games without being bound by the traditional concept of the platform lifecycle. Nintendo Switch will enter its 8th year. New titles will continue to be released. Maintain and expand user engagement with Nintendo Switch, maintaining business momentum. So, everybody's like, we don't know when the next console is coming. If they tell you they're still going to continue supporting this console, that means, like, hey, we got some new shit coming, but that doesn't mean we're not going to still support this old shit. You get what I'm saying? This is essentially what they're saying. Even though the Switch is coming up on its 7th anniversary in March and entering its 8th year in the market, Nintendo won't be abandoning the system anytime soon. During its financial results briefing today, the company said it will continue to release new titles and content for Nintendo Switch without being bound by the traditional concept of the platform lifecycle. And this is true for Nintendo because well into the life of the Super Nintendo, to the point where maybe the Nintendo 64 was already in development, there were still titles coming to the NES. So I believe them when they say this. The company highlighted titles that are on the way from both a first-party and third-party perspective. Quote, Nintendo Switch will be entering its 8th year in March of 2024. We will continue to release new titles and content for Nintendo Switch, blah, blah, I just read that. Going forward, we would like to continue to see many consumers play Nintendo Switch and to maintain our business momentum. Rumors have started to emerge this year regarding a successor to the Switch. However, Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa said today that some of the reports have been inaccurate. The company will release a new piece of hardware at some point, but even when it happens, Switch will likely continue receiving some support. Look, they said that people saw Breath of the Wild running on new Nintendo hardware at, I think it was Gamescom, if I'm not mistaken. That's essentially, it's not exactly a dev kit, but essentially, but dev kits are apparently out there. So Nintendo, I say to you, why you gotta lie to us, dog? We know it's coming. You don't have to lie. Like, it's coming. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. So, we'll be getting new information. Apparently, we know that the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming next year, and I will have one. And new Xbox Series X, a cylinder version of the Series X with no disk drive, apparently, and I want to have one of those too. And more than likely the new Switch. So it's going to be a big year next year for console gamers if you guys want to indulge and upgrade. More than likely, they're like, well, it's going to be the same console. No, it's not. It'll have more RAM, probably a stronger overclocked CPU, GPU, and all that stuff. So there are going to be subtle changes. Just telling you that right now. And all the talk about 60 frames consistently on the current PlayStation 5 and the current Xbox consoles, we may actually get the consistent 60 frames. There are some games where you can hit 120 frames. However, the fidelity graphically is going to suffer. These next iteration of these consoles should make it where you don't suffer graphically for better performance and higher frame rates. So that's what they're aiming for, and that's the reason for iterative consoles. For those of you like, that doesn't make any sense. It does make sense. You just don't understand it. And that, my friend, is a you problem and not a me problem. In other Nintendo news, this is crazy. This comes from our good friends over at IGN. When I saw this, I was like, this is fucking weird. It's not weird. This should have happened a long time ago, but the way they're doing it doesn't make sense. Nintendo and Sony teaming up to make a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. Sony co-financing new film with Avi Arad and Shigeru Miyamoto set to produce and Wes Ball directing. Avi Arad, if you remember, behind the Sony Spider-Man universe, especially the Sam Raimi stuff. Nintendo is finally making a live-action Legend of Zelda movie. And I want to add, because I'm a Zelda fucking hothead and Nintendo hothead, I'm going to be there day one. I just don't know how it's going to go. Nintendo is finally making a live-action Legend of Zelda movie after years of hopes and months of rumors. The news was shared today in an official post to Nintendo investors with few details. The film is being produced by Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto and Avi Arad, chairman of Arad Productions and former founder and CEO of Marvel Studios. Arad has been credited as a producer on numerous successful films over the years, most recently including Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, Far From Home, and Homecoming. He's also worked on upcoming films including Kraven the Hunter and the Borderlands movie. The guy knows what he's doing, because, like I said, he did the Sam Raimi shit. He also did the recent shit as well. I don't know if he did the Venom movies, though. And if he did, I wouldn't cop to doing the Venom movies. I'm just saying. The Maze Runner director Wes Ball is set to direct, and Sony Pictures Entertainment will handle theatrical distribution in addition to co-financing the movie with Nintendo. Deadline Hollywood, meanwhile, reports that Jurassic World writer Derek Connolly is writing the script. Though the press release indicates that development is just beginning. In a tweet/X post today, Miyamoto indicated that the project has been in the works in some form for many years now. Earlier this year, rumors about abounded that a live-action Zelda movie was in the works, but the word on the Hyrule Street was that Universal was involved, or perhaps Illumination, because we thought it would be animated. It made all the sense in the world after all the success of Super Mario Brothers movie. Rather than Sony, the rumors were fueled by the Tears of the Kingdom developers themselves, who expressed that they were interested in making a Zelda movie after the success of the Super Mario Brothers movie earlier this year. Right? However, E.G. Anoma said that at the time, it's not just me being interested in something that makes things happen. Unfortunately, a Netflix series was reportedly canceled after leaking on the internet, and I think that would have been cool, an animated Netflix series. I've asked Avi, this is from Miyamoto, I've asked Avi-san to produce this film with me, and we have now officially started the development of the film, with Nintendo itself heavily involved in the production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it. Yes, Miyamoto-san. Yes, Miyamoto-san. Unlike the Mario movie, however, the Zelda film is live action, and this is the mistake. There's a lot you can't do, like prosthetics, and we have great CGI now, but how good is it going to look? Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are both cel-shaded. Wind Waker, cel-shaded, animated, Toon Link. They literally call him Toon Link. You're going to lose the ability to pull some of the stuff off in live action. I'm just saying. In my opinion. I could be wrong. Unlike the Mario movie, however, the Legend of Zelda film is live action, meaning casting characters such as Link, Zelda, Ganon, and others will take on an entirely new dimension. The Super Mario Brothers movie, while well received, did undergo pre-release criticisms over the decision to cast Chris Pratt as Mario. A Zelda film will presumably be held up to similar fan scrutiny, which would be harder, even if Link remains a silent protagonist as in the games. Well, nobody could talk in the early games because the sound processors and you couldn't do that back then. When we get to the Switch and actually even the Wii U and stuff like that, you could do, like, the Switch has, like, these games have cutscenes. Everybody talks except for Link, which I think is ridiculous. Fans have speculated on the possibility of a Zelda movie for many years, now with more than a few donning costumes to create their own trailers. Way back in 2008, we created our own vision of a live-action Legend of Zelda. Back then, it was just an April Fool's joke, but now the prophecy has seemingly been fulfilled. It's unclear exactly which Zelda story will be explored in this film adaptation, or if a new Zelda story will be told instead. It's possible Nintendo opts to explore the most recent successful entries in the franchise by telling the story of Breath of the Wild, especially if it would open the door to a sequel in Tears of the Kingdom. One way or another, we'll have to wait for updates from Nintendo to find out what's in store. If it were me, and I don't get a fucking vote, but I'm saying if I was going to start anywhere, I would think that Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. The crazy thing about this is they almost have to do a new version of the story because the Zelda timeline is so crazy. And it splits at Ocarina of Time. So I guess you could do spin-offs if you start there. This is tough. This is tough because the timeline is so crazy and convoluted. Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna get this thing, but I'm there opening night. I've never camped out for anything except for actually I take that back. I've camped out for iPhones, a PlayStation 3, and sneakers. I haven't camped for anything in quite some time. I might camp out for tickets of this when I can buy them from an app on my phone and it doesn't matter. But part of this does worry me because I don't know how they're going to pull this off live action and where they would start in the Zelda mythos. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Short and sweet, but a lot of great stuff, obviously. So, again, salute Rockstar Games, salute Nintendo. Salute to Sony and Microsoft for telling Elon to go fuck himself. Believe in yourself first and foremost, because if you don't believe in yourself, then again, nobody else will. As always, my name is Derrick Lamon Jackson, and that is my time. You guys have a great day.